Why is the music so loud? One moment. Alright, just figured I'd go live a bit before Jan and Tim. We'll see when they get back to the office. Also, I just noticed my stream is only available in 720p, which is garbage because I used to have at least 1080p available. So I think they should get here pretty soon. Not sure. They were out getting coffee. And right now I'm just trying to understand why it's freaking 720. Yeah, Hazel crashes. Figured I'd keep that up there so we can keep track of it. Also, I have a bit of a cold, so excuse me for that. Comes back tomorrow morning, Hazel. Has crashed 6 times. No, I don't think it will be that bad, to be honest. I haven't actually had a proper crash in quite a while. Oh, Jan just went live. So I guess we'll see when he gets in touch. Yeah, 1 minute. Also, I'm hoping the actual London clock doesn't get any bigger than what I have on stream, because it will disappear from my stream in that case. Man, I had really hoped that my stream wouldn't be absolute garbage quality. Because like 720p, that's barely watchable. I may have to restart the stream and change my, yeah, I'm not gonna bother doing that. 10 seconds? I might have to refresh the browser source. Frank, thank you so much for the follow. Alright, we'll see if the clock changes to something unusable. Oh, not good. No, I'm gonna have to tweak that. Because it's showing 23 hours, which definitely isn't correct. Is it that? Oh, it's every 10. What? Wait, why is that showing 23 hours? Oh, because that's the comp. All right, every 10 seconds. That sounds annoying. You know what? Screw it. Big on. We don't need a timer. Yeah, so I'm probably gonna have to restart the stream to see if I can fix my goddamn settings. Because I think affiliates should have 1080p support. Oh. We're gonna jump on a call with Jan. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause the music. And then I might have to restart the stream afterwards. I'm actually gonna Google Twitch affiliate. Yeah, 1080p. Let's have a look. So there was this. At random for affiliates. God damn. So basically, I am not guaranteed. We demand hydrate back. Well, Tony, maybe later. I'm not gonna have hydrate enabled for the first hour at least, but we'll see. I do have water bottle, so we should be good. Also, Jan hasn't called, so I'm guessing he's busy doing stream stuff. It's actually... Yep. Oh.
I don't know. Alright.
What's up?
What's up? You're very quiet for some reason. Let me try and turn you up. Alright. Hang on. Now I'm standing stream. Because I'm maintaining that high energy. Alright, can you talk, Peter?
Yeah, I can talk.
Yeah, okay, I think that's okay. Stream, if Peter's like quiet or whatever, let me know. I've put him on minus 2 dB just so that he doesn't exceed me, because we wouldn't want that. But hopefully this will be alright. Okay, so every 10 seconds, what do you think of the theme, Peter?
I think it's not amazing.
Yep. I don't know if you heard me talking about this on stream, but Tim and I were just in a cafe looking through, like, Tim was showing me the final 20 themes, and I was like, I bet it's going to be every 10 seconds. So we somewhat were prepared for this. But
Yeah.
anyway, you're the game design director, so I'm really looking forward to what you're gonna come up with.
All right. Yeah. Um. No, but I mean, it's an interesting theme in that like you can pretty much do anything with it. Um. We could easily make it so, oh well, you have to, like, every 10 seconds, if we want to go for kind of like a physics based game, every 10 seconds an object spawns in the world, and you have to like move it somewhere through an obstacle course or whatever. Although I think that might be a bit too big of a scope. But could have it be something like that. Like, my kind of initial thoughts on that theme is something happens every 10 seconds, or something appears in the world every 10 seconds.
Okay. Do we want to kind of make a puzzle game?
What if? Let me just jump in here real quick. What? Whoa! Thanks, fan of sharing. What if every 10 seconds there was some kind of like natural disaster, or not like a natural disaster, but like, you're living your life, everything's fine, and then every 10 seconds, like, just these cubes rain down on you or whatever. Like, something goes wrong basically every 10 seconds.
Yeah.
That's an idea.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be cool.
That way you can still create whatever gameplay you want, but then the player just has to deal with the fact that every 10 seconds there might be
Yeah.
an issue.
So, like, just make any old game, and then every 10 seconds something goes horribly wrong, and the player has to deal with it.
And if he doesn't, he dies and resets or what?
I mean, I don't think it should be insta death. But I mean, we could go for that.
I mean, we could make a lives or something though, like
Yeah.
3 lives, and every time you stuff up, you lose a life.
Yeah. Because obviously there has to be like some consequence to them not successfully dealing with the issue. Tony in my chat just said, if you lose, you become Tim and play it again and become a better person. Am I right?
Yeah, that's what we should make. We should make like a game in Hazel whereby you create an engine in Hazel. Like that's the game, and every 10 seconds there's a new bug.
How about we each work on a Hazel feature and make Shono happy by finishing it?
Yes. But yeah, I mean, we could definitely go for. Because do we want to set this like in an interior or exterior setting? Because we want like a exterior.
I think exterior, and yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I don't know. I mean, it's up to you guys, obviously, but
I mean, in the end, I don't think it.
if I might add.
Yes.
Oh no,
That was the addition. Is that it? Exterior.
Oh, okay. But yeah, like I don't really mind having it be exterior, because like I think we're gonna go with like a fixed camera position, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, in that case, it really doesn't matter. Okay, so
That's funny. It is a Space Invaders guy. Okay. So
okay, hang on. I need to take notes.
what if the 10 is base 2? Something could happen every 2 seconds.
Oh, that's clever.
That is. So we aren't even like, if we go to different like number bases, we aren't even constrained to 10 seconds. Tim the robot will not sleep. I think I will sleep more this time. Like last day, I think I'll do a 24-hour stream, but beforehand I'll probably sleep normally at least.
Yeah.
We'll see how we go.
But this time Tim's not flying away to Sydney, so
Yeah, thankfully.
Well, at least not yet. Not that I know of yet. Unless something comes.
Yeah, it's like immediately halfway through. Alright, guys, I got a jet.
I'm just taking notes in Notion actually. So
I'm not going to. Oh, in Notion.
yeah.
Mm.
Okay, so let's maybe consider. Okay, what's the actual gameplay of sort of the normal game gonna be? Like when nothing goes wrong, what's the game?
Yeah, good question. Mm.
Question game design director.
I'm delegating the task.
Okay, maybe I can quickly pull this up. But there was a game, like a Flash game back in the day. I don't know if you can still play for Flash games. I think it was called Block Saws. Block Saws, where you were a block and you had to get to like a hole in the ground, and that would be
Apparently
you
I'm
completing.
echoing on Jan's stream.
Today we're speedrunning.
What?
Um, how do I pull this up? Wait, this is Twitch.com.
Well, it's probably because Peter's going through these speakers, but it's okay. You'll just have to deal with it.
Oh yeah.
Wait, what are you doing?
Okay, how do I pull this up?
Let me.
Oop.
What about? Okay, just Tony in my chat. What about those really small mini games like in Among Us? And you gotta finish those, and if you don't, you lose.
This?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is perhaps like a game loop. I mean, we kind of said we wanted like an established game loop, right?
Yeah.
The trouble with like, I guess the only difficult thing about this is gonna be like designing the levels.
Yeah.
But it's pretty simple in terms of mechanics, I think.
Yeah. Like that doesn't look
Difficult
Yeah, no.
at all, I don't think.
It's literally just for like based on
Just
that
a couple.
video, the cube is kind of rotating um around the local axis.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically it's 90-degree rotation at a time. That's it.
Yeah, and I mean
So
we
that's
could
kinda like a puzzle game.
Yeah, puzzle game.
Yeah.
But then every 10 seconds, I don't know, maybe something happens. You get teleported every 10 seconds. Yeah. But that could be already more difficult because perhaps
That sounds
it teleports you in such a way that you can't actually complete the level anymore. Because I think it kind of matters.
Yeah, thank you so much, Emily.
Thanks, Saraga.
See you some other time.
Essentially,
Siroga.
7M for the sub.
Yeah, Siroga, surely right.
Also, yeah, what's up with Twitch spamming people with like 5 ads?
Yeah, I don't know. They've upped their money intake.
Yeah.
Ad count.
But yeah, no, I think something along those lines could be like, you know, it's one of those kind of game loops where it can get pretty much addicting. There's like a similar, I think there's like a mobile game that's pretty much identical to that. And it's built very much to kind of just be addicting. Like the question is, what will we make kind of go wrong? How can that go wrong?
Yeah, that's well, like I guess like teleporting is one thing. The problem is if we're making that exact game, you have to be careful to which square you teleport them because I'm pretty sure you can teleport them to such a square that the level can't be completed anymore.
Yeah.
But if it's not that, like every 10 seconds, perhaps we have a list of things that happen that go wrong.
So like there's basically like a variety of things that could go wrong.
Yeah, and it's kind of random. Like maybe there's 10 different things that could go wrong. Like in that game, for example, there's a point where your cubes split in two, and you kind of have to join them, or go pick up the other half or something like that.
Yeah.
Every 10 seconds, a floor piece falls away. Yeah, but potentially.
I mean, we'd have to add
We
like
kind of like need an A-star. We would kind of probably need an A star to make sure that there's always a path to the goal, like after we move an A star or something like that. Not just brute force it. Yeah, just brute force it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the problem with something like that. Since like
You need to solve things.
yeah, I don't like solving stuff. I mean, to be fair, it wouldn't be difficult to slap together some A-star implementation, but I'm not gonna do that.
Peter's just like, I'm not gonna do that. No.
Yeah, no.
But like,
Um,
yeah, we don't need to be doing A star like for
Yeah,
a small
no.
map like that. Just brute forces.
Um. Oh, Sirega, thank you so much for the sub. Um.
Serioga, yeah.
But yeah, like, because I like the general idea of that sort of regular gameplay, because it's like a puzzle-based game that has. I mean, it doesn't really have physics, is the thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because the
It
way
doesn't.
I would have implemented something like that is just using the regular transform rotation.
Yeah. Maybe when it goes wrong, that's where we use physics.
Yeah.
We could. Because for that we could make it so okay, well, we spawn some cube somewhere on the level and you have to go and push that cube somewhere. Potentially.
I have an idea potentially. So perhaps every 10 seconds, like an avalanche, happens or whatever. Like something happens physics wise that kills you, insta kill or whatever. But I think insta kill kind of works better. And unless you're in a safe spot. So if you're in a safe spot, then you're fine. Like a barrier goes up or whatever, and you're chilling. You're unaffected. But so you have 10 seconds to get to the next safe spot.
Yeah.
And if it's that exact game, if we're making block saws, then obviously you have to basically solve a puzzle to get to the next safe spot. And it could be that we make safe spots checkpoints, so anytime it's an insta kill, you kind of just restart from where you were earlier anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that could be quite an interesting game to make. I'm just trying to think, like, as for checkpoints, it would have to like restart on the same level.
Yeah.
Because and we can't just reload the level is the thing, because if we were to reload it, would either have to save the like checkpoint position into a file or a static variable, and the problem is Mono hates static variables.
Mono back at it again.
Yeah.
Apparently, it wasn't even close.
Damn.
Psychopaths.
What?
He just had a look at like the theme voting, like toll counts. And this one, like the one that won, had 540, and every other theme had negative score, like in terms of their ranks.
Theme, which was
Jesus.
keep it moving, was on -86, and this every 10 seconds garbage was at 540.
What? That's
Yeah.
garbage.
We should get Cherno Jam.
Thank you so much.
You can only use Hazel.
I can't pronounce that. XCIC
That's the theme.
for
Make
following.
any game you want, but you can.
Sorry for mispronouncing that.
Hazel, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's garbage. I like, out of every theme that they could have picked, this was the one I hated the most.
Really, the last one, it was the one that I hated the most.
Really?
No. Like the last one on the themes. You shouldn't mix those. Like, what the heck is that theme? Like, what shouldn't you mix?
Oh yeah.
It just begs to make like a chemistry game in that case, I think. Well, then I can say the same thing about every 10 seconds.
Again, Peter is the game design director, but I think you guys should just use every 10 seconds as a mechanic rather than a design prompt.
Yeah.
So like make every 10 seconds just be a mechanic within the game rather than basing the whole game around it potentially.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it should be like, it should be relevant enough that it's not completely like, oh, every 10 seconds the heads-up display changes theme or whatever.
Yeah.
The UI font,
UI.
the UI font changes
UI
every
UI
10
adds
seconds
one like millisecond
from
to.
one to another and then back again. It should be like
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking with the whole like you just play the game like normal, and then every 10 seconds, something spawns in the world, for an example, like a cube or a sphere or whatever. And then you have to kind of push that to some designated place.
It's a
Um,
green screen, I think.
And if you make it past the level in 10 seconds, well, you don't have to do the thing.
yeah.
So it's still like possible to some degree to beat the game without ever triggering that thing. But yeah, I'm not sure.
Thanks, Antine.
Also, implode. I've had Stellaris for quite a while. I just haven't played it that much until recently.
Yeah, I'm gonna go look out the window for inspiration.
I'm gonna keep chugging coffee to stay awake.
I'll stand right here so you can see me.
Um,
In the loosest definition of
We know we're making a game.
every 10 seconds time reverses. Nice. Time step equals minus time.
Wait.
Wait, that's a cool idea.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
really cool
Imagine physics going backwards, and all that's how
Oh.
it works. That would be cool.
That
Wait,
w-
what happens if you give a negative time step to physics?
uh,
time travel.
that would probably cause severe problems right now.
Okay, I've got an idea. What if because we haven't done this before, and it will be kind of fun. What if every 10 seconds, the time slows down to slow motion for
Yeah.
like 2 seconds, or for 1 second of game time, and that is like a necessary mechanic in order to progress the level and solve puzzles and stuff. So like if you, for example, there was this extremely fast like razor blade or whatever that is just chopping at an area,
Yeah.
but then if you wait until your moment, then you can actually get through because of how slow time is. Maybe you're not affected by the time slowing or whatever. That could be cool.
That could be very cool.
Some chump wrote every 10 seconds Hazel crashes. Where's the ban button?
I have an idea as well, which is completely unrelated to that.
Okay.
But it has to do with that time reverses thing, right? What if you kind of spawn halfway through a map, right? The goal is on this side of the map, but it's completely inaccessible. You can only make moves to this side of the map. The thing is, at the end of 10 seconds, you get teleported to spawn, and then those moves get played out in order. And so if you solved it in a mirror side error, do you remember, you get it, right? If you solved it in a mirror without actually seeing the goal, and you solved it correctly, then you would have cleared the puzzle. So it's a puzzle game that you have 10 seconds.
I kind of like the idea of a puzzle game.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think puzzle games are good.
Puzzle games are awesome. The only thing
Yeah,
is
10.
like if we'd have sort of like a mirror dimension.
Yeah,
How
well, that's
on
what I think.
earth would we actually implement that? Is kind of what I'm thinking.
Well, we can have like the whole map displayed, and the side that's inaccessible grayed out with sprites as we have now in Hazel.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, no, that wouldn't be difficult to do at all. I think if you display the whole map at the same time, and then like a sprite over the grayed out button, and obviously logically wise that you can't go in the in the area of the goal, past the halfway point. You code the logic for that, and then just display like a grayed over like transparent-ish sprite over the top, like indicating that we can't go there, and that's it. Even could have like a texture like with stripes or whatever, indicating that it's grayed out.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't think that would be tough to do.
it'd be really cool.
Peter is kind of in his mind. He's being like, "Am I willing to put in that much?"
I mean, you're not entirely wrong. It's not necessarily that. It's just I'm kind of it'd be really nice if we could get the majority of the gameplay done in like the first 24 hours. Um,
The majority of the game done in 4 hours. Did you say?
24, not 4.
Say, nice.
Jesus. I mean,
Don't
I'm.
forget, don't think that your performance in this jam will influence your Christmas bonuses. That's not a joke.
What?
You're doing me proud.
I mean, I may be fast at coding, but I don't think I could code a game in 4 hours. At least not a game that
I don't
complex.
want you to.
He says the opposite. He doesn't want that to happen. 4 hours would be a low effort game.
Think twice about the words low efforts.
But yeah, no, like 24 hours, we should probably be able to have like a somewhat playable game, I think.
But you don't think that whole mirror thing, like recreation, I feel like it shouldn't be too difficult.
I mean, if
That's the
Says the artist. Yeah.
yeah,
But I mean, you just have a linked list of the recorded actions,
Link-
and then just basically translation and rotation gets like applied with like times by -1, and you should have the action in reverse. Or really? Well, you traverse, well, vector, whatever. But you would have to. Well, whatever, vector transform components or whatever it is.
yeah,
And then you basically just traverse that.
I actually made a game back in the day that was like
yeah. I saw
time
that.
goes back by 10 seconds.
I saw
What was the
that.
theme then, man? Every 10 seconds. What was the theme?
Oh, what was it?
Let's see if I can
Dig it up.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's in the archives.
Oh, yeah.
That's how old I am.
Ludendare.
Stormcorp thinks 4 hours sounds good.
It was called Time. Yeah, this is it. Maybe I'll mention the theme here.
Yeah, also like broke bastard says in your chat, linked lists are very slow. It would not, but like that's semantics. It would not be a linked list. It would just be like a normal list.
Yeah, Tim's the artist.
Yeah.
He was getting a roasting this stream. Who knew? Who knew? So what's the damn theme? I got 59 on theme. That's not bad. Back when I used to play as well before I made this team.
Wasn't there
Oh,
like
here we- 10 seconds?
what?
Bro,
10
the theme was 10 seconds, and now
Oh,
it's every 10
Jesus.
seconds. Let 'em Dead 27. I'm telling you. Well, okay, I've already made a game for this theme, boys. So then in that case, I'm glad that I handed off the game design director role.
Damn.
But to be honest, your experience in this particular
I mean,
thing-
usually we all kind of are game design directors, to be fair. I don't think I single-handedly designed last game.
Forest.
But
No, Forest was hilarious. I feel like nobody knew the game we were making up until the very end. You guys were like sitting
Well-
here and in Sweden saying, "Oh, Tim knows, but he's in Sydney." Tim had no idea. I thought you guys knew.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, yeah. I mean,
But okay. Let's say we
I don't
we
mean
do
to rush you boys, but we're already 28 minutes in.
oof.
So
but
according to you, you should have a game done in 3.5 hours.
yep, definitely. But okay, so we have a normal dimension and we have a mirrored dimension. And in the mirrored dimension, time runs backwards. Is that kind of
Okay,
what
so
we're
let's
going
crash.
Um,
Sorry, there was a fly.
yeah, another thing, like another scope to this idea that I came up with, right? Instead of a mirror dimension, right? Well, I don't think it's even dimensions. I think it's basically you see a certain chunk of the map. Half of it is grayed out because that's where your actions are going to be applied to in a second. Once 10 seconds flip, that's where you're going to get those actions applied to. But you apply it on the mirror side of it, right?
Mm.
And then so once that applies, I like another idea, another scope to this is basically that just moves that mirror dimension, that like what is blocked off and what is available to you moves along, and you have like a whole map to solve like that. And once you do, you will have beaten the game or the level or whatever we decide. But basically, it's not as simple as like, oh, hey, it's there. You can see the goal on that side, but you can only move this way. It's more so like you just have to progress through the level like that. Well, every 10 seconds is where your actions get flipped. So you have 10 seconds to make actions,
All right.
and then those actions get applied.
Okay.
I know Peter's not saying it, but I agree with Peter. That sounds like a nightmare to implement.
Yeah. Like the whole sort of quote unquote mirror
Peter wants this
dimension
done in 4
isn't
hours,
a
not
bad
24
idea.
hours. Still.
Like
Mhm.
I think that's easily done. But keeping track of actions and applying them like that sounds
data.
like a bit of a
difficult.
nightmare to implement, to be honest. At least in the time we have, which is 3.5
That's what
hours.
the actions are. I mean, what you're talking about is basically an undo system.
Yeah, which, Hazel has, definitely.
You know how we feel about those.
Tesla has a strong undo, like redo policy of just no, we don't support that anymore.
Don't make a single mistake.
I think that would be that difficult because it depends what you define as actions, and it also depends if it's going to be like that block game that Tim
Yeah,
showed,
well, that's what I envision.
and it's just like it's just a bunch of cells. You know, you move like through a grid.
Yeah.
Then obviously, like that would be very easy to store.
Well, that's
right?
what
Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking. I'm not thinking like I don't know, like jumping or anything. Like that.
Yeah.
It's just a primitive game like that.
Then you could have some nice lerping between the grid cells, so it still looks cool.
Yeah. That'd actually be kind of cool.
I think that's not bad. But I also do like I think my contribution, because remember how we all have to contribute a mechanic? I
Yep.
think my contribution is going to be the time. I want to see something with physics where time slows down because we've never done that before in Hazel.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, that's super easy to implement. Like, all I would have to do is expose, well, I mean, effectively, you could just expose the delta time, like,
Just like
scalar, effectively, and just multiply delta time by that in engine.
yeah, that should be easy. I think that honestly could be as simple as like to get through some areas, there's like a wall. And you just make the wall like destructible, and then when the destruction happens, it's just in slow motion because that's cool. That's it. Like
Yeah.
it could be very simple. Like this doesn't have to be vital for the game, but I think if it is a puzzle game, I think it would be cool if the time or whatever, maybe that's even an ability you have, slowing down time that you can use like every now and then, or maybe once per level or something.
Yeah, that's cool.
And yeah, that could be a cool mechanic.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because remember, like Let 'em Dare's all about low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Let 'em Dare's all about like what can I do that superficially looks really cool.
Yeah.
Not that we're like trying to specifically win Let 'em Dare or anything, but it still would be useful.
Script,
for us
thanks
to
so much
implement,
for
and
the
it's just
follow.
a good exercise.
Yeah. I mean,
Peter.
we could simplify it and just say, okay, you have an ability that you can use every 10 seconds. And that ability slows down time. And I really like the idea that there's something like an obstacle that's moving really quickly that you have to avoid. And effectively slowing down time just lets you get past it.
Yeah.
Because that's
I think I was playing that Jedi Fallen Order game, and they have a mechanic like that. That was, I didn't play much of that game, but yeah, there was like some rotating fan, and you had to get through it. And as I guess he's a Jedi, so he can just slow down time, and that was kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah, I mean it is very much sort of like I think a common mechanic in those kinds of games where you basically just have the ability to slow something down so you can get past it. Because I've seen a couple of games that has that.
Well, yeah, I think that could be a cool thing, and if we're still like happy with the whole like reverse the moves idea, then it could be something that like as you're reversing, you have to like in time hit like slow down time or something like that for you to get through a certain obstacle. Like time it well with the actual moves being played out that you no longer have any control over. and that way you'd be able to clear the obstacle or whatever.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think how we would actually do the time reversal thing, because the physics system definitely doesn't support that, because we do some checks to see that the actual number of steps we can make are valid, which I don't think physics would be happy with a negative time step.
Yeah, but
But
well,
like,
at least the way I'm picturing it, right, is while you're making your moves and not actually clearing the level, not clearing the mirror side of the level, we don't have to do anything with physics, right?
yeah,
But once those moves are being played out, that's where we do the physics slow down time step or whatever to actually clear them.
yeah, that could be cool. Because we could also like implement time reversal in a very simple way, just keep track of the positions. Time reverses, we just effectively play those moves in reverse without actually reversing like delta time.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, that's true. If it doesn't matter too much, then yeah.
Yeah, and I mean that would be a lot simpler than trying to modify the engine to support that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we know that we're at the very least going to want effectively physics going into slow motion. When did you say that should happen?
Well, I said that it should happen as your moves are being played out. So after you made the 10 seconds worth of moves, and now they're being played out, I think that's where you have the ability to trigger slow motion.
Okay, so you have 10 seconds, you make your moves, so you like move along the level, and then after 10 seconds, time slows down.
Mm-hmm. Or I think maybe it's even like a user ability to slow down time at
Okay.
a certain time, at when he needs to like clear an obstacle of some kind. Like I'm imagining like blades cutting the player in half or something like that, like
Yeah.
rotating, and so he has to slow it down in time as this cube makes that move. So the cube isn't affected, but the blade is, because the cube can be just like, it doesn't have to be a physics object, you know.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah,
guess
and I
then
mean, we
if
could
we're using lerps,
easily.
we have to be careful with what, like we have to use our own, like I guess, lerps, not time step.
Well, no, actually, what we can do is just in like C sharp have some variable that's accessible by multiple classes that
Mm-hmm.
just determines, like, effectively it's a multiplier um for delta time, or even just like the movement speed,
Mm-hmm.
because that
Okay.
way delta time wouldn't actually have to change kind of globally, and that way it won't affect stuff that we don't want it to affect.
Mm-hmm.
So that would probably be just the simplest way to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Gravity.
Yeah, someone will tip.
Um, you guys should make it where gravity changes every 10 seconds, but you know what it is going to be, so you have to prepare. Yeah,
I think that fit in with this game.
I think it could if we tried really hard. It could be that not only are you like reversed, but it's also upside down, but that kind of makes no sense. Like, I don't think that actually changes anything.
I think that would be way too hard for the player as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think just communicating that 10 seconds is quite long. Yeah, so maybe we should do 10 seconds in base 2, so 2 seconds.
Mm, yeah. But like, okay, so when if we go with your kind of idea here, Tim, of you
Mhm.
have 10 seconds to make move.
Mhm.
So those moves plays out immediately when you make them,
Mhm.
and then after 10 seconds, what happens?
After 10 seconds, well, either if it's a simple version, you would have reached your goal or failed and you have to start over. Or if it's the scope up one where there's a map that you have to clear in several segments, basically. As much as you get past, okay, so you made it to this point after making those moves for 10 seconds, then repeat. Now the grade off area is moved to from where you are towards the left, and then everything towards the right is kind of free to make moves with.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It would probably be slightly better to go for the simple version, but I think the more complex version could be interesting as well.
Well, I think if by the end of 24 hours we have the simple version game loop done.
Yeah.
I don't think it's anything that's unmanageable to do in 24 hours, honestly.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either.
Because the moves are just rotations and translations, and
yeah,
there's nothing else in there.
And like as long as the engine itself cooperates with me, I think I could get that done like easily before I need to go to bed.
Unlikely, Cherno says.
I mean, yeah. What?
Damn. Cherno's gonna have a fun lot on there.
Wait, what?
Said the engine doesn't even compile at the moment.
Yeah, no, because I think you have some local changes that you need to commit.
I think that was just a whip commit.
Okay.
I'll fix it soon.
Yeah.
I made a repository, by the way, for the game I've linked.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, good. Okay. Cool. Well, we should probably get to work.
All right.
I'll start by making Hazel compile.
Yeah.
And then I'll push that, and then I'm going to work on. Well, I'll just be working on my own stuff.
Yeah.
Might go walk. Have some nice coffee in the car.
Meditate on that.
Yeah.
I kind of have to wait for you to make the engine compile before I can start doing stuff. But
yeah, no, I'll get on that right now.
Yeah, I'll start with just like the basic game that Tim showed, and see if I can get that just a basic prototype working, and then we can start looking into adding the sort of simple gameplay loop. Cool.
Cool. All right. Well, yeah. Give us a yell if you need anything.
Yep.
Or if you want to chat, we'll be here.
Yep. Sounds good.
All right. Good luck.
Thank
Bye.
you. Okay. Yeah, Tony, sorry about the ads. They suck. So, here's the annoying thing. My stream, I don't think I'm going to be able to get 1080p at all. Because that's... Yeah. That's annoying. Yeah, I'm gonna have to give him a call and see if Tim can give me a better explanation of this sort of complex stuff later on. But for now, I'm gonna wait for Jan to fix the engine and make it compile. But I can probably go ahead and clone the actual game repository, which doesn't have anything in it, so that's not worth doing. But yeah, no, like the basic gameplay is gonna be really simple. If I just bring up Hazel here, I'm gonna have to zoom in a lot so that the code is visible in 720p. Okay, I mean, it's at least visible there. So, yeah. Cool. Yeah. Let's just do a little, to-do. This is really where I should have. Also, why is the music so loud for me? I think that's better. So I think the first thing I should work on is player movement. Which is gonna be like the cube, basically. I don't know. Maybe we should make it exactly like the video that Tim showed, where the cube rotates to like a certain. You kind of have to rotate a 2 by 1 by 1 meter cube to move. Or we could just make it a 1 by 1 by 1 meter cube that you just kind of move around on a tile grid. So I'm just trying to think. I think replicating the exact movement that Tim showed would be really interesting. Come on. Player movement. Rotate. Just trying to think. 2 by 1 by 1 meter cube. Using west. Right, so that's the most basic thing that I can implement right now. Once that's done, like we're probably still gonna have like puzzles that you have to solve like by moving over different tiles. Maybe. Well, I should probably get the time slowdown to work first. Slow down. Motion. Ability, because that's going to be a very critical thing that we have to implement. So player movement, slow motion. The whole reversal, I'm not 100% sure how Tim kind of envisioned that working. If he kind of wants it to yeah, I'm not entirely sure how he kind of wants that to work, but I'm gonna have to ask him about that as well. Asked him about time reversal. Cool. Just gonna message Jan so he can notify me once Hazel compiles. Also, I'm already feeling like I'm gonna be dead by tomorrow because I'm already tired as hell. didn't help. Can I make the font bigger for this? Nope, not there. Like I can enable small text, but that's not useful. This is Notion. Yeah, Tony, I'm already dead. That's not it. Settings. Just gonna move that over here real quick so I don't show anything I don't want to show. This music's annoying. And I don't seem to be able to change the font size in there. Are you making the game in Notion instead of Hazel? Definitely. Definitely doing that. I mean, that's a bit better. Maybe. Full width? Nope. Didn't even know that was a thing you could do. Alright. So once we got that working, and once I know what time reversal means, there's probably gonna have to be like the whole switching thing, where we're switching between two, well, if we kind of want to go for that. Because time reversal happens every 10 seconds. Silverbot, thank you so much for the follow, unless you're an actual bot, in which case, yeah, whatever. Okay. It's player movement, slow motion, time reversal, profit. Alright, Marka, have a good night. I'll try to stay awake. Hopefully you can get some good sleep. Do the coma. Yeah, sleep would be nice. I mean, that's basically the major features. Thank you so much, Silverbot. I'll try to have fun. I probably will. Even if I'll be dead. Mikotoyami, thank you so much for following. Much appreciated. So time reversal. I mean, there's the puzzle mechanics. So we'd have to have some like mechanics. What would those be though? Like what kind of puzzles can we come up with? I saw in the video that Tim showed, there was like you had to effectively move over like a button or something to kind of extend a bridge, which could be interesting. Move over a tile to extend bridge. I mean, there's not... Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to wait with the puzzle mechanics and kind of have a chat with Jan and Tim about that. I suspect. Hopefully, yeah, no. Jan has not fixed Hazel yet. Oh. Shit. Missed the call from Tim.
Peter?
Yeah, what's up?
Okay. What's it called? The map. It's gonna be entirely tile based, right? So
Yeah.
as far as what I'm making, I'm just making one tile, and then we're gonna build up the map either programmatically or by hand. But it's gonna be a tiled map, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, just double check.
I think we should probably do. I mean, programmatically would add some variety, but I think doing it by hand would probably minimize the risk of us ending up with problems.
Tim is making snake.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So in that case, I'm just making one tile. And then well, maybe we can like have like an algorithm that runs and generates pre-made levels. But yeah, I think just because by hand it's gonna be a bit annoying to build it up. But in that
Yeah.
case, if any, we'll just build it up and it'll be okay, I think.
We can start by just doing like handmade, but if we have the time, we can probably slap in some procedural generation.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. I just wanted to double check that.
Yep.
Cool.
Sounds good.
All right. Bye.
Bye. All right. And it seems Jan has managed to get Hazel to compile, and Tony wants hydrate back, and I'm gonna say no, not yet. Maybe during tomorrow's stream. But right now, I'm staying hydrated. Don't worry, Tony. But I kind of want to be able to focus once Jan pushes the fixes he made. Which hopefully should be soon. Because I can't do much. At least you drank some without me using points. Yeah, you have to think about it like that, right? You're saving points. Picked up the Kanban plugin for Obsidian. What Randy uses for the Troll Light cards. Oh yeah, I saw that during his prep stream. I don't know. I'll keep using Notion for a while. Might try out Obsidian. So yeah. And apparently Hazel should now compile. And he has pushed, so let's head in here and do a pull. And I think I should be on the latest commit. So let's rerun setup. And hopefully get to some coding. Assuming it managed to pull correctly. Because I did pull from dev at some point before we started. Yeah, I'm probably not going to be restarting the stream today either. Or tonight, rather. Because I can't be bothered. But hopefully I should have 1080p quality tomorrow. Because I hate having only 720p. Trying Obsidian a bit, but I'll probably revert to Emacs or files because I'm too lazy. Yeah, like, testing new things is cool, but honestly, I think if you found something you like, it's usually more efficient to just stick with it. I've used my brain to organize things so long now. Yeah. I don't know. I'm really bad at like organizational stuff. Should probably try and get better at it. Oh, okay. What is it the same? Okay, it's trying to. Yeah, I don't really care about that though. I just care about Hazelnut. The launcher, I'll let Jan deal with that. So long as the actual editor compiles, I'm happy. And it does. Cool. That means I can actually get to work. Although for some reason it's didn't load my... Oh yeah, I'm getting it. Yeah, it did. Awesome. Let's go ahead and clone that project. Whatever it was. There we have it. And I'm gonna have to create that. Okay, to be honest, what I'm gonna do, go in here, create project. LD51. Hazel. Create. What is this? I think Jan broke the engine. Jan officially... This is Jan's fault, okay? Do not blame me for this. Alright, whatever. Don't... At least tell me, like, fucking cubes work. Just remember, we don't actually have cubes by default. We need to copy them from some other project. Let's do... Yeah, I mean, it's pretty. Actually, Tony, I think I've changed your original code quite a bit. Just so you know. So the console is... Well, no, I think most of the console is probably still your code that you stole partially from me. Where do we have cube? Let's actually get default. Let's get all of these. Let's copy the entire folder. Show this again. Meshes. Source. Default. Okay. This is not me. Okay? I did not break the engine. I'ma blame Jan. Okay? This is gonna be an interesting weekend. Hazel. Yeah, pretty much. Let's do... Git. Just gonna clone it so I have it. Git clone. Oh, right. Yeah, I have to increment the crash count. 1. Set it to 35 so you don't need to do it in a while. Yeah. GitLab. Yeah, this is gonna be interesting. Copy those. There we go. Now we have the repo. So, the problem is that was a file system watcher crash, which... Let me just quickly... Okay. Yeah, I'm officially broke shit. Not debugging. C dev hazel ld 51 ld 51.h proj. I see. Yeah. Well, what's happening here? Gear. Okay. Awesome. Let me give Jan a call, because that's not good. That's very not good. I actually can't. You're gonna ignore me. Yeah, he did not answer that. Why? Oh, I probably didn't even notice. Let's try giving Tim a call. Because this is a problem. The problem is I'm pretty sure they all have streamer modes on, which is great. Because then they won't be notified. Yeah. Streamer mode is great, except when it isn't. I'm gonna disable streamer mode for me. Problem is, this is a Vulkan crash. Thing is, though, it didn't fail initially to do that. So if we remove that, does it work? Yeah, that works. And okay, sure. Whatever. Let's just call it player. Yeah. It's official. Jan has completely borked the engine. So I need to increment the counter again. What's that? 3? This is what we get for slapping and multi-threading literally a week before. Well, it's not actually a week before. I think multi-threading was a thing like 3 weeks ago. But pretty much all of the crashes I've had so far are due to multi-threading. Wait, did I actually... Oh no, that's the correct project. Okay. It at least made the file. Although it's empty, so whatever. LD51. Override on create, override on update. Possible Jan just pushed to the engine. Yeah, he did. So apparently we don't have multi-threading. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and try. I'm just gonna pull. LD51 engine scripts. Let me just verify my Hazel Dur. Yeah, that's correct. Regenerate. Didn't actually change anything. Okay. Off to a great start. Okay, opens like normal. Crash on destroy, but that's whatever. Let's try adding that back and see if we can actually... Okay, now that works. Good. Let me just go in here and try and add a directional light and a skylight. Dynamic sky, and that works nicely. Cool. Save scene as. We'll see if this crashes. The engine. Not there. LD51 assets scenes. Let's just call it prototyping .h scene. Okay, didn't crash. That's good. Hang on a minute. Let me just do a Control S so we don't lose that stuff. Let's do test. Okay, that works. Good. Great. Yeah, reload. So now we can actually start coding. Let's create a cube. Cube. Static. Default. So we have a cube. This is gonna be the player. Question is, do we want the player movement to be physics-based? Send him a message real quick. Why does it have a mesh collider? Doesn't need that. Okay, that. Cool. Let's add a quick ground. Set the Y scale to like 0.1. Move the player up. Scale this to, I don't know, 10. Materials. Prototyping. New. Gotta remember to save more often. Let's change. That's why we remember to save every goddamn time. We're up to 4 crashes. Changing material color crashes the engine. Awesome. And it's because we're invalidating it, I guess. Sure. Whatever. This is what I get. No, I'm kidding. Okay. I'm just trying to think if we want Because I can't really start making the player until we know if it's going to be physics-based or just like done by modifying the regular transform, right? Let's see if we can actually like start setting up a basic scene structure though. So I can't change the material of the ground because that crashes, which, you know, epic. Let's go view, scene render, and just see, get rid of that. Let's get a camera in here. Camera. Which is going to be positioned somewhere looking down. That's not down. We need frustum visualization at some point. Okay, let's start playing around with the camera here. Just a bit. Start with that. Copy. Paste. Cool. Okay, so it's not crashing for Jan, which is interesting. Let's check that I'm on the latest commit. Yeah, that's... Could you please refresh? I don't know what this weird commit is. So Tim, yeah, we're gonna go with transform-based player movement. All right, let's add script. Need to do a reload because it's the first time. Never mind. Need to build. Don't crash. Thank you. You're kidding. Why is it crashing? It's trying to do something. I'm gonna have to try and reclone the engine because that's 5 crashes in like 15 minutes. What? Script. Yeah. Thing is that it only seems to be happening when we try and like do this. Now I know Jan recently changed the way this works. So alright, I'm gonna reclone. Nope, that's not it. Go to projects, ASO dev, B asset pack, runtime into LD51 engine. Oh Jesus. Only one crash every 18 minutes. What is up with this? Also, did Tim just like bail? I'm gonna try and give Tim a call here, because apparently his stream seems to have shut down. Heap corruption, awesome. Come on. Yeah. Tim might have died, or he's having lunch. Yeah. Because that's actually like unusable. If I can't add a script to an entity, then that's it. It seems to be happening literally every time. Yeah. Why? Okay. It happens in here because that's empty. Right, yeah, I know Jan had this. Because it's trying to use the file path, which he didn't commit that. God damn it. We're having some sort of alignment issue. No, I don't think it's it's not alignment or anything like that. It's Jan was having the same issue on his stream, I think 2 days ago or something. Slight problem with that. Missing code or asset. Code, because I think Jan fixed this on his stream, and he just didn't commit the code. So awesome. Let me shoot him a message. Let me just... go with crash. Yeah, he holding back. Because I can't add scripts right now. But if we're gonna be doing transform based, then I should at least be able to write some code, I think. Because we're gonna have to let's see, private void. Basically, tap the key, which thankfully we now support detecting just a single press, instead of just having to check instead of getting return through every frame, we can do input is key down, which will return once per frame. No, it will return once when you push it down, and then it won't return true until you have released the key and then pushed it back down. Alright, so we can do key code .w to check forward. Now we're eventually gonna want to do rotation instead of just movement, but I think we're gonna start out with just basic movement. So if input is key down, key code W, we'll do transform, translation, plus equals vector 3 forward times TS. Things I don't remember his fix for it, for this crash, because I think it's severe. Because I can't make the game. Like I actually can't start working on actual real logic until I can add scripts. I might be able to hack it if I can find out the asset ID of the script. That's just... It's not technically an asset that's gonna show up here, I don't think. Unless it's this? No. Search for script. Here we go. That's the asset ID. Let me just copy that. Because I can hack this effectively. What's that? 8 crashes? Since... Yeah, whatever. Assets, scenes, because I really don't want to do this. But I don't have much choice. Player. Script component. And it's like... Is that correct? Yeah. And... class handle. That's not what I wanted to do. That name ld51.player. In theory, that should be enough to get that script added. Yes, sort of. Maybe. Let's give that a go. If I just hit play, I can't see shit. Let's turn off bloom. Okay, yeah. So it's added, but I can't click on it. Cool. Let's add Rigidbody, dynamic. Hopefully this works. Alright. Although we should probably do it as a velocity change, not as an actual thing here. I'm gonna take a look at our player controller for Forest, because it's been a while since I wrote one. And I think in Forest we used velocity change to move the player. Looks like we did do that. Update movement. Yeah, we used a velocity change, which I'm gonna have to do as well. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go take a quick bathroom break, so I'll be back in a moment. Oh, I'm back. So, what I'm probably gonna do is... Okay, so the new one's finished cloning, so let's actually just try and use that and see if that fixes my problems. Because this is not looking good so far. Back out hazel.son. Because I can't just manually modify the file, the scene file. To like add a script, like that's not something that I should have to do. Worst case, I don't know, see if I can find Jan's fix. Asset pack work, because he had to change some like how this scripting sort of the script assets work effectively. Let's check script. Yeah, I don't think he pushed that stuff. Doesn't look like he did, to be honest. Yeah, he definitely forgot to push that. Great. See if I can get a hold of him. Because like I can't actually add scripts is the problem here. Why does he have streamer mode on? But I can still like work on this script, which is, I guess, a positive. is gonna take a quick look. In the meantime, I'm gonna work on the player script because I actually need to do that right now because we're wasting precious time. Okay, so we need to have okay. Just gonna bring this over here. So we're doing, I think we're doing add force. Yes, and we're doing it as a velocity change. Right, so we're gonna need Rigidbody. That, cool. Get rid of that garbage. Have a update movement input. And basically the end goal is for us to do Rigidbody Add Force. And what was it? It was right, we calculate a velocity based on movement, which actually, yeah, we may go for the rotational way of doing this, in which case it's probably way easier to do this using the transform component. Right, because then we can just do input is key down, key code W. We have transform rotation, which I think that's vector 3, plus equal transform, local transform forward, which, yeah, we'd have to, no, that's not correct. Vector 3. Actually, yeah, that's correct. We do forward, multiply by 90 degrees, and this will have to be in radians at some point. Take this, do math F, dig to red, compile, turn off bloom again, because we don't save that. Don't know if that's actually, it is doing something, but it's not wood. Why did I do that? I mean, really what we want to do is set a target rotation. Let's do that instead. Vector 3, target rotation. Set that equal to transform rotation. And that's going to be in radians. Let's do a conversion to rad to degrees. When we... Is that the correct function? No, we want is key pressed. First of all, we'll set target rotation. MJR Legends, thank you so much for the follow. We'll add 90 degrees to the target rotation. Then we're going to want to do a lerp. Between transform rotation times math F rad to degrees target rotation. I don't think it's, is it, we need it like let's have a public float rotation time. Set that to 1 right now. Rotation time, multiplied by time step. That will give us our new rotation, so we'll do transform rotation. This multiplied by math f degrees to radians. I think that's correct. Rogert, thank you so much for the follow. I mean, yes, but also no. Because we just... Oh. Yeah, sorry. My bad. Local transform forward, multiply by 90 degrees. Oh. Uncommon script cache, 187. Uncommon script cache 187. Let's go ahead and save, close. Script cache 187. Right. Cool. So that should hopefully mean we can still... Like, hopefully we should be able to deal with adding scripts now. Player. Yes. Awesome. Still don't trust materials. Now it should be... I didn't build. Rebuild. Play. Okay. Alright. So we're rotating, but we're not actually translating. Which is a problem. I mean, yeah, that's actually a big problem. Because we'd have to... What's the best way to kind of deal with that? Because this is just rotating around the axis. We would have to rotate around... Probably the point... We would have to have basically offset by... this. Things though that doesn't quite... What if we have a target translation as well? And we don't just do this, we do target translation plus equals transform. Yeah. Well, probably just vector 3 forward. Like so. We lerp between our current translation and our target. And let's just keep using that for now. Don't do that. I think this could potentially emulate. Yes, except we're rotating around the wrong thing. This would have to be around our right axis. Yes, I think. We may have to negate something. Yep, we're gonna have to do the inverse here. Multiply by negative 90. Okay. See, that's the problem right there. Do we do a lerp in here? And we're gonna have to do I mean, okay, what we can do instead is just do if it's really the translation that we really care about. That translation is within some distance of our target translation, right? We have a distance between translation, target translation. If that's less than 0.1, well, if it's greater than 0.1, we lerp. Otherwise, we just set it. Target rotation times math f degrees to radians. Okay. What's this returning? Actually, let's log instead. Memory leak is half fixed, crashed for the same reasons, but later. Cool. Error. Whatever, let's just use... Where is it? There it is. Let's use these sorts of strings instead. What's the distance? Hang on, let's clear. So it's 1.7-ish. Okay, so that's not actually what we want. We don't want that. I mean, we could do a timer because we know how long it should take. Set that to 1 as well. We can probably do if not equal to target translation. Question is how many problems are we gonna have with floating point imprecision? That's the question. If they're different, we'll do rotation timer minus equals TS. Else, just do rotation timer equals rotation time. And we'll do if rotation timer is greater than 0. Otherwise, do that. And I guess for the sake of this, let's do that. No. I'm having a hard time thinking. Is rotate, I don't know, is moving. Set this to true. If we're moving, we'll do that. And on top of that, we'll need to do this. Decrement the timer, say if it's greater than 0, we do this. Otherwise, Do that. It's moving false. Rotation timer equals rotation time. Snaps into place, but it did a weird jump. Which was interesting. Alright, whatever. You know what? For now, I think just gonna do translation. And not bother with rotation at all. Rotation can come later. Because I think movement alone should work. Yeah, but there's weirdness with Rigidbody. Because it doesn't like the fact that we're modifying the translation directly. Is equal vector 3 forward. Target velocity, which velocity change. See what this looks like. Probably gonna be, yeah. And then we need to see that once we, well, we kind of need to subtract TS from this, I think. Maybe. If we're moving, do that. Yeah, I'm not feeling on top of it, to be honest. Movement direction might be better. Because the thing is, actually, this would be a good place to take a look at Space Invaders instead, because that actually does use tile-based movement. For the aliens. Can you tell I'm tired, by the way? I mean, in theory, this is actually really simple. If we don't use rigid bodies. Because it's just transform translation. It plus equals vector 3 forward. And because I'm using the correct input check, they should literally just snap, 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 snap. Yeah. And because it's instant, I don't think... Oh, come on. Why did I do that? Because it's instant, I don't think the physics system actually has an issue with it. Yeah. Let's just do that for now. W A S D. A would be minus equals vector 3 right. S would be that. D would be that. Should be that simple. Yeah. And if we go over the edge, we die. Cool. We effectively have player movement. Except it's not using rotation right now. Player should move by rotating. Though I'm not actually trying to do that. Okay. Good. Shouldn't have taken me that long, but it did. We now have this working. One thing I want to do though is offset it. Because then, yep, good. Okay. Let's go to slow motion ability, right? Now for that, we're gonna need some kind of thing that's effectively just moving like this, right? So it's oscillating back and forth. Let's also make that a cube, but let's make it a small cube. Well, let's do 0.2 in the Z. Let's make it a bit wider, maybe 2 meters. Make it a bit taller, like 1.5. Bring that up there. Now, this is a problem. This is kind of why I didn't want to do translation, right? Because the physics system doesn't know that we've moved. And so we can just walk through those. How would we do this in terms of a velocity though, right? Because we can do add force, some force, force mode, velocity change. Problem is you can't really make that snappy, I don't think. Now this has a translation. I don't know if that works. So if it does, we can just set that instead. Let's check engine, Rigidbody component, set translation, actor set translation. Pretty sure it won't like that because it will skip collision checks. Yeah, you can see that doesn't. We'd have to do some insane value, and then it's not based on time step, which is bad. So let's just do vector 3 like I did. Target velocity. And target velocity is equal to vector 3 dot forward if length greater than 0. We add the force. I think I just tried to delete stack variables via pointer. Awesome, dude. Right. Now, realistically, we should do this times time step, I think. And then subtract this from the target velocity. Technically, we're supposed to do that. That's not doing anything. Oh, wait a minute. Because it's -1, we subtract. Okay, so it's just... That's doing it in tiny increments. This should get added over a second. Oh yeah, my bad. Should be that. Nothing is happening. See, this is why I don't like doing this using the physics system. See, it's not good. Yeah. I'm gonna see if I can get a hold of Tim to get some input on this. down instead. Yeah, I can't get a hold of either of them. Let me just go into Tim's chat real quick. Good God. Hopefully he'll see that. Why do I prefer Windows 10 or Windows 11 over 10? I don't know. I just think it's better. Like, it looks better. It feels better to use. Doesn't crash as often. Doesn't get nearly as many forced updates as well. What's up?
Hey, Peter.
Quick thing.
Uh-huh.
I'm basically trying to decide on player movement.
Right.
I think initially I'm just gonna skip the whole rotation thing.
Uh-huh.
Because currently it's just rotating in place if we do that.
Right.
But I'm trying to.
No, but see, that depends on the origin of the cube.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, which actually that makes it kind of confusing. Because obviously once you rotate it once, the origin won't be at the bottom of the cube. That's okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's tough.
I'm thinking initially, right now, we skip rotation.
Right.
And instead just translate it.
Uh-huh.
The thing is, though, is there going to be a reason for effectively the cube to sort of collide with walls and things like that? Or will there basically just be floor collision?
Well, it depends. Like, I guess if we're designing puzzle levels, then we can like make it collide. Make it collide with like walls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
To complicate the puzzle level.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was afraid of, because that's...
Why? Is that bad?
Well, it's not bad, it's just really kind of... Because I want the movement to be snappy, right? It should effectively just snap to the next position. And doing that with the physics system is basically impossible.
So you ended up going with a physics-based movement, not just transform component-based, yeah?
Yeah, and the thing is...
Yeah, okay.
If we want kind of wall collisions, we'd have to use physics-based movement, because otherwise the collision will be skipped completely.
Well, of course, yeah.
So I'm thinking...
Unless we're manually checking for it.
Yeah, and like that would just be really...
That's just painful. I don't,
yeah.
That's not a good idea.
So I'm gonna go ahead and say we should probably not have any walls.
Okay.
Because that way I can
No
just
walls.
move the regular transform.
Okay, with the movement, if we're not doing rotation, one thing I could do is make an animation for that gets played every time we move the player.
Yeah.
So it could be just, I don't know, he gets squished and then like unsquished when he moves to the next cell or something like that. You know, just so that it's not boring.
Yeah.
But yeah, the thing that I'm confused about, say if the whole animation takes a second, like half on the previous block and half on the new block or the new cell
Yeah.
that he's on, right? We would kind of have to lock the movement for that time or something like that. Like I'm not sure, because it is only 10 seconds. So I don't know. What do you think about that? Alternatively, we can just reset the animation probably.
Yeah, that could
Um,
work also. Like I don't know, I haven't really used the animation system that much, so
mhm.
so I'm not sure kind of what the best way would be, like that to kind of deal with that would be.
It's super simple. It's just a float from 0 to 1, and like 1 is the end of the animation, 0 is the start.
Okay.
So basically once that animation time is greater than 0.5, that's halfway through the animation. So if I make that's where the squishing happens to the maximum. From that point, it will be getting bigger. At that point, maybe like after it's greater than 0.5, I actually move him to the next cell, and then the rest of the animation will play.
Yeah, that could be cool, because
Yeah, cool.
that does give it some life as well. So
Yeah, I'll see how I go. I might make like a more complicated animation, but initially that's what I'll do, I think.
yeah, like
Um,
we can start simple.
mhm.
Um, cool, because in that case I'll have player movement done in 5 minutes.
Okay.
um,
Well, I've basically finished like the first floor tile. I think I might have variations of it just so that it doesn't look identical.
yeah.
Because I think that would be pretty bad. Um, is there been any commits uh the
To the game repo.
fork front? Yeah, game repo.
I don't think so. I haven't committed anything.
Okay.
Uh,
Well, yeah, I don't think I should be the one to make the project just because you're the one already
yeah, I've
making
made the
it. So maybe.
project.
Okay.
So what I'm gonna do is just finish, like, just get the player movement done, which
Uh-huh.
is like 4 lines of code. Um,
Yep.
and then push the project to the repo.
Okay. Cool.
Um,
Well, once that goes in, I'll add some assets and yeah.
yeah,
Well, I'll add a floor tile, and that's kind of, I guess, the dimensions. It's roughly a meter by a meter, so square tile.
yeah. Also, I meant to ask about the time reversal thing that we're gonna
Mhm.
be doing.
Mhm.
Um,
Yep.
because I'm not entirely clear on like what the purpose of that is gonna be. Because it's meant to kind of play the movements that you've done, but in reverse.
Wait, time reversal.
Yeah, we were talking about
I
that
don't.
and slow
I
motion.
thought time. Okay. Because I only remember slow motion. I don't know what the purpose of reversal is.
Yeah, I don't know either. So, but either
I
way,
guess
like
no.
I'm gonna be
Maybe Jan was saying
doing.
it would look cool for physics, like based objects.
Yeah, but like if we're not doing the physics-based movement,
Mhm.
then I don't know. We could probably
Then yeah.
find some object that can do that. Um,
Uh huh.
but doing tile-based movement using physics is not gonna look that good, and it
Mm.
could cause problems with the physics engine as well. So
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
you're the game designer, honestly. So
yeah,
whatever you
uh,
think is manageable and possible.
yeah. I mean, I'm gonna
But
start with like slow motion because that's
okay.
awesome. Um,
Yeah.
and then we can probably have a look at the if time reversal is feasible or not because we have to do puzzle mechanics as well.
Uh-huh.
Um, although we don't need that many puzzles, I don't think.
Yeah. I think honestly we kind of just keep making it as we go.
Yeah,
Like I don't think it should be a difficult thing. So
yeah, that sounds good.
okay.
If we're not doing time reversal, we'll have to figure out something else that will happen every 10 seconds
Mm-hmm.
because that was meant to happen every 10 seconds. But we can easily figure out something like that. Just
Wait, okay, because the way I kind of envision the game, and maybe I was on a different page to you guys, but every 10 seconds your moves get played out. So for 10 seconds they're recorded, and the next 10 seconds they're played out. That's kind of what I thought was happening every 10 seconds.
but like how would that work? Because like if you're moving around and then 10 seconds have passed, Like, what do you mean by the movements will play out? Are you're talking about the fact that we're gonna have basically two different areas, right?
Yeah. So if you, I don't know if you have my stream open and how long the stream delay is.
Yeah, I have.
I was thinking player here, and then goal here, right? And so player come into this area during the 10 seconds. This is offline. What he can do is make moves in this order to get to the goal, right?
Yeah.
Um, and then at the end of the 10 seconds, his moves get played out, but in a mirror-like fashion. So, if he moves 1 meter in the positive X,
Oh, yeah.
X plus, then it'll be 1 meter in the negative X
Yeah.
from that initial position. And so that's kind of how I pictured the gameplay.
Okay. Yeah, that.
Which, yeah, I think all you have to do is store like the transform components after each movement, and then basically just make sure you times that by -1, or at least like the difference between the previous transform component by -1, and you would
Yeah.
get the opposite.
Like that should actually be pretty easy because we would basically store the initial position at the start of the kind of round, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Then we would basically just record the movements as an offset from the initial position.
Yeah, yeah.
And we would know, we would have to know like the initial position, but on the other kind of in the other area. So like what that corresponds to. And then we just play.
See, but I thought if it's directly in the middle, then the initial position in both areas
yeah.
is the exact same.
Yeah, we could do that. Definitely. In which case, we would literally just store the initial positions, record the movements as an offset, and then negate those offsets.
Exactly, yeah, which makes it like super simple. So somebody in my chat, Declan just asked, like, is the player side going to be blank level without obstacles? So that's why I kind of think, it would be cool to have obstacles like walls if possible. Just because, well, we have to detect the collision somehow, right? But as long as we detect that there has been a collision, then we just reset the player's like position and reset the level essentially. Like go try again. Because if it's yeah, the other possibility is player is just blank, right? But the goal has only one path you can take to it.
Yeah.
Like, and then everything else is either non-existent or maybe like it's a lava square or something like that, And so, like the player has to follow that exact path, although he's able to go on any square on his side.
Yeah.
But only one path will lead to the goal or something like that.
Oh yeah. That actually sounds really cool. Because that basically means you kind of have to be careful with your moves as well. Because if you move too much or too far along the path in one go, you could easily end up skipping over, say, the button that you need to step on, meaning you can't get across. Because we could make it so like if you imagine you have like your tiles, and then one of the tiles on the goal side has like a pressure plate. You need to stand on that pressure plate when we switch over to that side. In order for that pressure plate to then raise, say, a bridge or whatever.
Yeah, bridge or maybe like disable the trap or something like that. But yeah, and then when you factor in the slow motion that we're gonna add to this as well, it's gonna be well, I think like what you were picturing anyways, have like a blade or something like that that's kind of like rotating around, and you have to slow down to make it in all that time. But you can't really picture it that well you can't picture it if the player level is just completely free. It's like a sandbox level, you know, you can do and go anywhere
Yeah.
on that side. So I think that's gonna be like a cool
Yeah.
puzzle to solve because you have a sandbox on one side, but on the other side only a certain set of moves will actually pass through the level.
Yeah. That actually sounds super interesting, I think.
Well, that's the idea I had
Yeah.
when we were discussing, but I think it was hard to communicate it just with words, honestly.
Yeah. Because I wasn't really like understanding what you meant by like the moves being basically played out after 10
Yeah,
seconds. Because I kind of envisioned you were
yeah.
like pressing keys and nothing was happening until 10 seconds has passed, but now I get it.
Ah, yeah. No, this is what I meant. And then the scope up for the game, right? I meant the goal then becomes the next checkpoint from which the player starts.
Yeah.
This gets reset to a sandbox, and then you have a next puzzle over. And then maybe like the whole level is like 10 of these areas that you have to clear, and then like it gets more complex as you go on.
Yeah. That actually makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah, but we should have done this from the start, I think.
Yeah. Um
'Cause as far as I understand, Jan probably had no idea what I meant by my game idea either. Okay. Jan's too
um
deep into engine code.
yeah.
Um,
So what I'm probably going to do, because here's the thing, I'm basically dead at this point. Like
Mhm.
I've spent probably 10 20 minutes just like looking at movement code and not really being able to think. So what I'm going to do is I'm
Yeah.
going to do player movement and implement the framework for the slow motion ability. Push that to the repo, and
Uh-huh.
then checking stuff. Yeah, it's late.
If anybody is wondering what like time it is for you and why you're dead.
Yeah, and I've been up
Yeah.
since 7 a.m. So
Yeah, that's rough.
so I'm gonna get that done and then probably get a couple of hours sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, get up early in the morning and just start working on puzzle mechanics and the whole everything.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Cool.
but like I should probably be able to push to the repo like max half an hour. I can push.
Mhm.
Well, tell you what, I'll do the movement and push that, and then do slow motion after.
Yeah, okay. Well, just go see how you go because
Yep.
honestly, I think the scope of this is much lower than it was last time, so
Yeah, definitely.
it just feels much more manageable. I don't know, even at this point.
Yeah.
No.
All right. Well, thanks for clarifying the idea.
Yeah, no problem. We
All
should have
right.
done this earlier, I think.
Yeah, I'll
Right.
shoot you a message once I've pushed.
No problem. All right.
Bye.
See you, Peter.
Okay, that's that done. I now have a clear understanding of what we need to do. And yeah, Tony, like I said, I'm gonna get this going and then just head out. So this becomes very easy. It's just translation vector 3 forward. Yeah, I'm gonna do the coma. Cause like I'm actually feeling terrible right now. Right? And if we don't have any walls like that, this doesn't matter. And we should still be able to fall off. And we can. Cool. Alright. That's player movement. Done. Let's go ahead and commit that. Finish my auto trigger for buttons and B go coma. Yeah. Sounds good. Open. ASO. LD51. Let's make sure no one's pushed. Good. And yeah, it makes sense that no one would have pushed. The hell is it? Okay, yeah, that's... yeah. I'll push that. I won't push binaries, I'll push player. Well, yeah, no, I'm not gonna push that. Push asset registry. Push that, scene, meshes. Push that. I'm not gonna push. Yeah, I'm actually gonna push these. That should be fine, I think. Actually, should I? No, I shouldn't. Don't push those. That doesn't matter. Alright. Added. Very basic tile-based player movement. Push that. And before I do the slow motion, I am gonna head to the bathroom again. So I'll be back in a moment. Alright, let's get to getting this slow motion thing working. Now, I'm thinking, like we're gonna have to do the whole swinging thing a bit interestingly, because we're gonna need to attach like a trigger glider to it to detect the actual collision effectively. Crash Hazel. No. Ain't gonna happen. Yeah, so basically this would have like a trigger on it, and when that intersects the player, we know we've been hit, and that's it. You're dead. Now, we probably want to impart some force on the player, but for now, not gonna bother with that. And just as an example, let's see if we can get a script on this thing to make it oscillate between, say, this position, that position. Right? See if my brain can manage that. Let's call it dummy. Well, swinging obstacle, like that. Get rid of that garbage. So we need basically a vector 3 here that will describe, and this will probably work a bit differently eventually, but for now I'm just gonna do very simple oscillating like this. If we want it swinging, we'll have to do rotation and not just translation, and we'll have to do it around the origin as well. But if we have a vector 3 here, call it, what's a good name for it? I don't know, it's like the axis that it's gonna be oscillating in. Let's just call it axis, I don't know, movement axis, or target movement, maybe, for now. And effectively this is gonna act as sort of an offset. Right? So we'll have movement target 1 as well as movement target 2. Movement target 1 is going to be translation minus target movement. This is going to be that plus target movement, right? And we effectively want to do a lerp between that. Ooh, actually, that's a good question. Because we need to know which direction we're moving in. Current target. We'll set the current target equal to that. So, if the current target okay, what's the sort of best way to actually what's the best way for us to actually get because I can check like if this is equal to movement target 2, set that to 1. Otherwise, set it to that. Thing is though, floating point precision is a pain. Best way is 7. Awesome. Thanks, Tony. Repair. Vector 3. Unity. Do we have something like that already? Because that would be awesome. Could clamp it. That sounds like a pain though. But essentially what we want to do is we want to lerp between transform dot translation and the current target by some value, which is probably going to be delta time. Right? Let's just see what this looks like. Did I build? Yes. Script. Swinging obstacle. Doesn't look like anything. Because it's literally not doing anything. Oh, yeah, because it's gonna be that. Right, this is wrong. Transform dot translation, which I think. Couldn't I just do translation though? Yeah, it's the same thing, but better. And this won't work realistically because I can already see an issue with it. It's gonna reach its destination, then it's gonna start switching between them, I think. Yeah, you see it's stuck because it's effectively switching between these like constantly. We effectively only want to run like once. Switch target, which is going to be false by default. After we've done this, if the translation is equal to current target, then we should switch effectively, right? And not switch target. Wait. What's the best way? Let's check. Unity oscillate, however you spell that, between 2 points. Effectively. Ping pong. We don't have that. Ping pong implementation. How is it implemented? Repeat. Math stuff. Okay, how would I actually implement something like ping pong? Function. Or rather, what would be the best way of doing this? If we reach our target, we've reached our target, so we need to switch current target to be the other, effectively. Yeah? Then our next target becomes that. Otherwise, if... Yeah, that's effectively what we have to do. We have to do if current target is equal to movement target 0, 1, we set current target equal to that. Else, if that, do that. Essentially, that's what we have to do. Explicitly do comparisons. And now it should work. It's gonna be slow, but it's gonna work. Or not. Why isn't it working? That should work in theory. Except it won't, because we need to check. We can't do this. We need to check within a certain distance, effectively. Now I think I can just do... Because I don't know that vector 3.distance will work. Distance between translation and current target. Let's log that. It's been so long since I've done something like this, it's not even fun. Yeah, vector 3.distance does seem to work. Good. We'll say if that is less than 0.05. That will definitely be enough of a margin. We'll start by setting translation equal to the current target, so snap it into place. Yes, Tinspin. I would consider myself a not Dougla. I'm actually gonna head off to bed once I've got this working. Okay, we can probably make that margin even bigger. Delta time times 4, because we want to make it fast. Make it faster? Should probably make that a public variable that I can modify. Oh, wow. It actually pushed me. I wasn't actually expecting that to work. Not the past 2 years, getting back to it now. Gonna make a voxel. You're gonna be not doing it for that. Yeah. Okay, so we have that working. Now we need to take slow motion into account here. So what I'm probably gonna do is have an empty entity, call it time manager, add a script, call it time manager, and what that's basically gonna do, it's just gonna hold a float. Well, we can make that. Well, let's make it public. It's gonna be the effectively time scale, which is gonna be 1 by default. Well, no. Let's do private float and time scale. It's gonna start off as 1. Then we'll have slow motion time scale, which I'm gonna start off at 25%, right? And that's tweakable. Then we'll have a public time scale, which is just gonna be a property, an auto property. And we'll say enter slow motion, and literally all that's gonna do is set time scale equal to that. We'll have exit. Again, I'm gonna probably end up, well, I don't know if I'll rewrite it. Okay. Very basic class. In player, we're gonna keep a reference, private time manager, set this equal to find entity by tag dot as time manager. And in here, if input is key pressed, key code, I don't know. What would a good key for that be? To enter slow motion, right? C, F, E, R. Can't have it be S, Q. I think F, because that's literally like right next to what I'm holding either way. Let's do time manager, enter slow motion. Now, actually, this is gonna be a bit more complex on update. We'll have another public float, like max slow motion time. Yeah. We'll set it to 2 seconds. Right, this is gonna be two normal seconds. So we'll do if timescale equals slow motion timescale slow motion timer, just gonna start off at on create override on create, just set that to slow motion timescale. Nope. Max slow motion time minus equals time step if slow motion timer is less than or equal to 0, we will do time scale 1. Slow motion timer equals max slow motion time. Okay. Looking good. So we do that. Then this is also gonna need this. That's not necessary. And we could obviously make this like a static thing, but finally fix this and it works. And time to coma. Sounds good, Tony. I'm gonna probably coma soon too. So have a good coma and see you tomorrow, hopefully. So just gonna declare a float probably up here. Wow. Make that public. Swing speed, set that to 6. So this is gonna be swing speed multiplied by delta time times time manager time scale. That's what that's gonna be. Let's remember to add the script. Time manager. You stream today, tomorrow anyways for a long time, so that's no problem for me to catch the stream. Yeah, that's true. Okay. Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, and it ran out. Press it again. Slow-mo. Oh, that's nice. Because that means, and yeah, like the player isn't affected by the slow-mo, which is exactly what we want. Okay. Done. Yeah, I'm probably gonna end here. Either way, Tony, so thank you so much for watching. See you tomorrow. So I'm gonna see if I can get a hold of Tim, maybe. To let him know what I've done, or that I got slow-mo working. Sort of. Well, I got it working. It's just not, like, we're probably gonna end up tweaking it. See if he answers. Yeah. Let's do a raid on him. Because I'm gonna be heading out. I hate that I can't raid via Tim. Start raid. Let's do it. Alright, Tinspin, see ya. Raid.